Why did you throw away the gift from our daughter? You monster!
I stared at my husband with a cold gaze as he yelled at me. I visited a resort spa with enthusiasm, thinking it would be a chance for us to reconcile, but it turned out that my husband had other plans. So I pushed back the item he claimed was a gift from our daughter. Were you trying to kill me? After everything came to light, it was my husband who fell into hell, not me. Originally, it was Michael, my husband, who suggested a trip.
Hey, your birthday is coming up soon. Why don't we go to a resort spa with just the two of us on that day?
I was surprised by his invitation and confused. This was because our relationship had completely cooled off lately. The reason was that I inherited my parents' inheritance. The amount was $70,000.
Then I don't need to work anymore.
But Sophia is only 14 years old, and she has a lot of expenses ahead of her, like tuition and other things. Don't retire with just this money.
Sophia recently started modeling for a magazine, right? Then she can earn the money she needs.
Even if she's an amateur model, I don't know if I can keep doing it forever.
She has a face that can earn as much as she wants. Don't worry about Sophia anymore. Even if we spend our money, we won't get in trouble.
Michael is only 38 years old. It's impossible for him to quit his job at this age. I felt uneasy about my husband's overly sweet ideas. But my husband felt that I was monopolizing the money, even though I was arguing that we should save it. As a result, he began to take a cold attitude towards me from that time on. He hardly came home, and when I asked him about it, he said this.
It's because of work.
I hated the cold air between us, and Sophia noticed it too. The kind daughter was very concerned about our relationship. Then, out of the blue, my husband suggested a resort spa trip. What happened? He was so distant. Unlike me, who couldn't answer right away, Sophia smiled brightly when she heard it. She seemed to think that if we went on a trip together, we could get along again.
Why don't you go on a trip with just the two of you?
Sophia gave me a nudge from behind. So I decided to accept Michael's invitation. On my birthday, my husband chose and arranged a villa for us. It was a hidden facility located in the mountains far from civilization. When we arrived, I found a lovely place with excellent maintenance and service, except for its inconvenient location. From our room, I could see the magnificent natural scenery. It was a view that I rarely saw in the city where I lived, and I let out a sigh of admiration. I'm glad we came. Thank you for bringing me here.
I'm happy that you're happy. We came all the way to the resort spa, so you probably want to enjoy the facilities now, but before that, here's a present.
He then handed me a small package. To be honest, the contents of the package were not to my taste. It was a slightly flashy necklace. But this gift was proof that he also wanted to improve our relationship. Even if it's not to my liking, I'm happy with the sentiment. Michael looked at me with satisfaction as I smiled.
Sophia has a present for you too.
He took out another package. The contents were cookies, and I could tell they were homemade from their slightly crumpled shape.
You shouldn't go into the sauna on an empty stomach. You should eat them now. I don't like cookies, so you can eat them all.
He then handed me a small package. Although I hesitated for a moment due to certain circumstances, I decided to untie the ribbon on the wrapping paper because it was something Sophia had made. At that moment,
I got a phone call.
He said this and left the room. After seeing him off to the hallway, I tried to eat these cookies, but then I suddenly had to go to the bathroom. I wanted to savor it calmly, so I hurriedly finished my business and then noticed a voice leaking from the hallway. It seems that Michael forgot to close the door when he left the room. My husband has a habit of leaving doors open even at home, so I tried to close the door while laughing bitterly, thinking that this kind of thing doesn't change even when he's traveling. But at that moment, I heard the content of the phone conversation that my husband was having, and I learned an unbelievable fact. I can't believe it, that's what it was. I was boiling with anger, but there was something I had to do first. I gently closed the door and took action in a hurry. When Michael returned, he naturally didn't know that I had heard the phone conversation or what I had done afterwards.
Oh, did you finish eating the cookies? Then let's go to the sauna.
Well, I want to see the beautiful scenery a little longer.
If you keep saying that, it'll be dinner time in no time. You should definitely go in now.
Then I'll eat dinner and take it easy in the sauna later. I tried to postpone taking a sauna for various reasons, but Michael strongly recommended that I go to the sauna right away. This convinced me that he had acted with malice. I went to the sauna with a vague feeling of dissatisfaction, but I couldn't enjoy it at all when I remembered the content of that phone call. I got out of the sauna quickly and checked something before returning to the room. Good. This will be enough to use. I sent it to several places before returning to the room with a poker face.
Why did you throw away the gift from our daughter? You monster!
The moment he saw my face, Michael yelled at me with a fierce look. It seems that he noticed that the gift was in the trash while I was at the sauna. I picked it up from the trash and held it out in front of him while looking at him coldly. Were you trying to kill me with this? I said suddenly. Michael was surprised by my words and then turned pale.
What are you talking about?
I know that these cookies contain wheat flour.
What are you talking about? You have a wheat flour allergy, so why would I give you something like that?
Well, normally you wouldn't. But what if you were trying to kill me? And as proof of that, you thought I ate these cookies and kept insisting that I go to the sauna, didn't you? My allergy is a condition where heavy symptoms occur after eating an allergen such as wheat flour and then exercising. There is a high risk of life-threatening conditions such as anaphylaxis, so I usually avoid wheat flour products, and if I accidentally eat them, I rest absolutely. In addition to exercise, there is also a risk of symptoms occurring during bathing, so if I had really eaten these cookies, I wouldn't be able to enter the sauna or jacuzzi for a while. Nevertheless, my husband's actions seem to be trying to cause me anaphylactic shock.
Wait a minute, those cookies were made by Sophia in the first place. Sophia knows about your allergy too. Do you think she would use wheat flour?
Do you really think so? Fine, if you say so, try eating it. I held out the cookies I was holding to Michael again. Actually, my husband also has a wheat flour allergy like me. We first hit it off in college because of our allergy topic. Since the cookies contain wheat flour, there is no way he would take it and put it in his mouth.
Can you eat something that came out of the trash?
It's okay. The trash can here is obviously clean, and the cookies are properly packaged, so there is no problem with hygiene.
No, but...
Michael, who was looking for excuses, suddenly raised his face and said,
Okay, I admit it. I can't say for sure that there is absolutely no wheat flour in it.
I'm amazed, you're not admitting that it's in there. You're saying you don't know if it's in there?
I didn't see Sophia make it. But I swear to God that it's something I received from Sophia.
As expected, Michael doesn't intend to admit the facts.
I also believed Sophia and thought there was no wheat flour. But if what you say is true and there really is wheat flour, I'm too scared to eat it.
He insists that he won't eat it. I didn't see Sophia make it either. You just told me that. It's doubtful whether it's true or not.
Are you doubting me? Besides, it's obviously handmade. Do you think I would use wheat flour in cooking even though I have an allergy?
Even if you can't do it, your affair partner can make it, right?
What?
Yes, my husband was cheating on me. The person Michael was talking to on the phone was his lover. He showed a momentary sign of agitation at my words, but then quickly regained his composure.
Don't be ridiculous. There's no evidence that I cheated or that I deliberately put your life in danger.
Evidence. I wish you had just admitted it.
What? Even if I deliberately made you eat wheat flour, it's ridiculous to say that I was thinking about sending you to the afterlife. You didn't have any serious symptoms from just eating it.
I was disgusted by Michael's aggressive attitude, so I played back the recording on my phone. When I realized that he was talking about something serious on the phone, I recorded it on a whim.
I tricked her into thinking that the cookies Jennifer made were from Sophia, so she wouldn't think it was poison for her. She should definitely eat it.
I couldn't hear the voice on the other end of the phone, but Michael's voice was clearly recorded, and the content was decisive. I could see the blood drain from my husband's face in front of me.
In her case, if she just eats it, she won't have serious symptoms. It should pass as an unfortunate accident. Even if it's discovered that I made her eat wheat flour, I can just claim that it wasn't intentional.
When I played it up to this point, I stopped the phone and glared at Michael. What? Do you still think there's no evidence?
That's, well, you know. That conversation was just a joke. We were just kidding around.
I don't think so. But didn't you say that Jennifer made the cookies? I didn't miss the words, the cookies Jennifer made. She's your affair partner, right? How could you give something she made to your wife, especially if it was to kill me? Do you think that's just a joke?
No, I'm not cheating. Stop making baseless accusations.
Sigh, you know this is a recording of your phone conversation, right? Don't you remember what you were talking about? I sighed and played the rest of the recording.
Once she's gone, I can finally remarry. And she has an inheritance too.
I could see Michael's face turning pale as he heard his own voice coming from my phone.
She's so slow. She doesn't even realize our relationship, and she even accepted the necklace you said you didn't need.
His laughing voice was clearly looking down on me. On the other hand, his whispered voice,
I love you, Jennifer,
contained sweetness. After that, Michael was silent for a while, perhaps because the woman on the other end of the phone was talking. Then he said,
I think it's better to wait a bit before letting Sophia work in the sex industry. Did I not tell you yet? Sophia is a model. So we can just take the money she earned from that and make it ours.
From these words, I knew what kind of treatment they were planning for our daughter in the future. I was angry when I heard it while eavesdropping, but now that I've heard the recording, my blood is boiling again. Hey. This recording alone should be enough to prove that you cheated and that you had a plan to kill me. Come to think of it, choosing a resort spa as the destination for this trip was also part of the plan, wasn't it? As I scolded my husband with a trembling voice of anger, he couldn't even come up with a bad excuse anymore and just looked bitter.
Damn it, it's all your fault for trying to hog your parents' inheritance.
What are you talking about? I just want to use it for our lovely daughter. You know that I'm going to divorce you, right? You cheated on me, so you should pay me alimony.
Alimony? No way. Besides, if we get divorced, Sophia might be taken away from you. She's a cash cow.
How could I entrust our daughter to someone who says things like that? I was angry that my husband cheated on me and that he tried to kill me, but what I couldn't forgive the most was that he involved our daughter in his plan. If I had fallen for their lies and eaten the cookies that could have become a weapon, how much would it have hurt our daughter? I realized that Michael only thought of our daughter as a tool for making money from the way he treated her. That's why I decided that I wouldn't forgive this man who was a terrible father. I'll report you to the police. Michael showed the most panicked expression I had ever seen when I made this declaration.
The police? No, please don't. I don't want to be arrested.
You threatened my life, so it's only natural that I report you.
But nothing really happened in the end, so can't we just call it a big fight between a married couple? Don't make a big deal out of it.
I peeled Michael off me with an annoyed expression. It's best to have the police take you away to ensure my safety from now on.
I won't do anything like this again. I'll change my ways and break up with Jennifer. So it's okay, right?
That's not okay. Michael kept whining, but at that moment, the police I had called in advance arrived. My husband looked surprised and froze at the sight of them. Michael tried to escape, but he was restrained and struggled even after being caught. Eventually, he was taken away by the police. Afterwards, I divorced and demanded $15,000 each from my husband and his mistress. The woman was also arrested as an accomplice, so they both ended up in police custody. They avoided going behind bars, but they had spent my money recklessly and borrowed money from suspicious lenders to pay the compensation. Now they work like horses day and night, living in fear of debt collectors. I live with Sophia now and we enjoy our days together. Recently, my daughter has become interested in cooking and makes cakes and cookies without wheat flour for me. I'm happy with her feelings, but I tend to eat too much and have decided to go on a diet again while savoring my happiness.
How was this story? Please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video.